It's an important philosophical learning that's coming out of that work, which we do see in other parts of the world, which is, a lot of the world is operating under the premise that you cannot have environmental performance and stewardship and economic prosperity. They seem to put them at odds with each other. They seem to be that you have a choice on which one you want. But more and more, when we have these integrated solutions where you're bringing in good practices and the communications and the scale, we're seeing the opportunity that we know we can significantly improve environmental performance and significantly improve the economics for the farmers. How would you agree with that? Or?
Yeah, I'm a passionate environmentalist myself, so I have spent a lot of time reading about case studies of countries and the journeys that countries and civilizations have been through. And what I've observed, and it's true in my observations of India also, is that typically environment and economic growth can go hand in hand, but it requires a certain amount of awareness within communities, and also it requires communities to go beyond subsistence and into prosperity before they can afford to invest in the solutions required to protect the environment. So you need to help first with the economic base, and once the economic base is set, then the next step is you build the environmental or environmentally friendly solutions. And if you can work hand in hand between the two, you can actually create a new sustainable growth model for local communities and local economies.
Oh, that's great. So let's switch gears a little bit. I want to come back to something that you mentioned earlier, to say it in different words. But my understanding is for every liter of product we sell in India across the entire country, we're giving more than 3 liters back to communities and the environment. So it's a 3-to-1 sustainable balance concept. While at the same time, we still seem to draw some attention around water. And it's a little bit, from the outside looking in, it's a little bit hard to understand how, our products are over 300% balanced in this way, yet sometimes we still are perceived as poor stewards of water. That's confusing to me. Maybe you can unravel the riddle for me.
Our efforts at water sustainability have really been focused on first do, then say. And we have, over the years, really focused on making sure that we go well beyond compliance into stewardship and are net positive contributors to the water availability in the communities that we serve. While we've made all the information public through our website and through other means that we have used, at the end of the day, the problem still remains. India remains a highly water-stressed country. The availability of water for communities in India continues to decline on a per capita basis. So we may be in a situation where we can say we are not contributing to the problem. We are not in a position to say that we've helped solve the problem, because the solution to the problem is much bigger than what we do within our plant premises or through the CSR efforts that we do. So we recognize that as a big brand, as a visible user of water, even though we are a minuscule user of water within the broader context, we are going to have to do much more to be able to be seen as a significant part of the solution.
I think it's a really important point that you're making, which is sometimes we get focused on a singular issue, but really helping communities, you've got to have a multi-dimensional approach. So helping with water, helping with sanitation and health, helping with education, helping with gender equity and that long-term social capital. That's a very comprehensive strategy and an approach. I did want to emphasize a little bit of the technical approach, because you talked about the check dams that we're putting in different communities. We're doing water in schools. We do a lot of rainwater harvesting. And all of these things seem to fit into an equation of trying to readapt India to its current demand on water resources and the very specific nature of the way water comes to India. It seems like it's very much well laid out that way. Is that?
So we've learned over the years, and this is a work that we've been doing for over a decade now, of understanding what is it that local communities really need and how can we as a company, in partnership with others and in partnership with local governments, how can we help communities achieve their objectives? Typically, in CSR efforts, if you come in over the top with a solution that is imposed on a community, it never really works. So what we learned is the best programs, and you talked about the check dams, the best programs are ones where the local community has a sense of ownership for it, where the plans are drawn up in partnership with the local community, and then the future maintenance and ongoing benefits are equally shared by members of the community.